new year, and I'm doing the end of the year wrap up of all my favorite tarot and oracle and everything that's gone on, and it's amazing. I made a video of this back in December, and of course the file got corrupted trying to put it into YouTube, so I was like, oh dear. All right, well, it's okay. I'll do it all over again. Hopefully it'll be better. So I just wanted to say, first of all, I needed to thank Elise from Wild Moon Woman and Ethany at the beginning of this year. They were huge, huge, huge support and help for me, even branching off into spirituality and tarot and creating a tarot practice, and really just helping me to move into a new way of doing business that I otherwise had not been doing for like the past decade. So I'm just so happy to be here and have met so many amazing people in this community, and I'm so excited. I'm just happy to be here. It's like I feel like I'm a crazy person, so it's like it's good to have, to be in a place where it's like, oh, you're cool, it's all good. Your crazy self can be here. So yeah, I'm so glad. Thank you for everyone who has let me read for them, who's found me for readings. I've been doing a lot of entrepreneur tarot sessions and mini sessions, and so it's so good to connect with other healers and just other women entrepreneurs. I mean, I love men too, so I'm not saying like it's not just about women, but like I know the things I have struggled with as a woman entrepreneur have not necessarily been what guys struggle with. Not to say that they don't have their struggles, but it's just beautiful to be able to connect with other people that have gone through similar things, and just being able to branch out and be visible and have that confidence and know that we have a really good self-worth to really be out here and do what really fires us up and gets us excited about life. So with that said, I wanted to start, I have a couple things I wanted to cover for the end of the year decks, end of the year wrap up. This kind of flows into December too, so yeah, we'll get started. But we'll start with favorite decks, like great all-arounders, decks I have used so much for other people, as well as myself, but the decks that I have turned to time and time again for other readings this year, or reading for others. I'm like trying to find out where I'm starting. I guess we'll start easy here. I have talked about this. This is in my 31 Days of Tarot, 31 Days of Tarot prompt by Ethany, the Star Tarot. When this came out, was it in October? This deck, I was like, oh my goodness. So I immediately started using it for others, and I can't remember if I had already mentioned this, but I have found it to be this beautiful, it was just an amazing all-rounder. I used it for business, career questions, and it turned out to be really great for spirituality questions. It was just an amazing all-rounder for, just everything. Romance, the glare. And I used it a lot for my own personal readings, and I need to say, I have not harped on this book enough because I had not really dived into it until December, but I was looking for some of those romantic cards. The Ten of Cups, look how gorgeous! And the Ten of Pentacles is so romantic as well. Look at that Judgment card, which this card has started to follow me right now. So, yeah, this deck is a great all-rounder, minus the cardstock. But it's so beautiful. I can't recommend it enough. I loved it. Was never like the hesitation to grab it for reading for others. And then the book. Yeah. The book. This book is so beautiful. It is. I have adored it. I had already liked it. I was like, wow, there's a lot of meat on these bones. But it talks about the astrological. Here you can see the moon in Taurus, the degrees, fixed Earth. It really goes really deep into lunar cycles, moon phases, and really deep, like the Phantasmagoria does as well. But I really have enjoyed her writing style, and so she'll have a really big preface. And I like how she's divided up this book. Normally it's in order, by suits, but this one goes in order of the numbers, so all the ones, all the twos, all the threes, so you can really dive into, okay, what do ones mean in general, what do the ones mean in all the different elements, and she'll have like a really big thing. So she'll describe the cards, and then at the bottom or the last paragraph will be a really good chunk of all the symbolism in the cards, so you can get a better grasp on why it's there, what do the colors mean, what do all the symbols mean. I really, really enjoyed it, and it's a very good spiritual, it's a very beautiful spiritual book. I was using this a lot for myself in December, just like, in the evening time, just doing like a, trying to help myself along. I have a lot of different potential paths right now, so I was just like trying to like get some groundedness in this deck and the book, and the messages are just, it is really beautiful. And there's that two of Cups card, but it was very, very supportive in a very beautiful way. So, but yeah, spiritually, like if you're like doing a spiritual path and like really wanting to get some juiciness, this deck has been so good. I'm looking for a place to put this. So yeah, the Star Tarot for all-arounder, and using it for others, using it for myself, I have just enjoyed it across the board. And then the other ones have for all-arounders, the Albino Weight. I really pulled this out at the end of the year for reading for others. Right now it's my only traditional Rider-Waite that I have, and I love it. I love it for all the psychedelic colors. But yeah, it's beautiful. And well, I'll be honest, I got it for the Temperance has a rainbow. Just like the Star Tarot has that too for Temperance. So let's try and find it. But it's just lots of pop. So I have been using that one quite a bit for others, and then that's been, I guess it's been in and out throughout the year, but definitely like really like I say that the only closest thing to like a traditional Rider-Waite has been the Morgan Greer that I have been using, and I know I love this deck. This deck has been so beautiful. Ultimate all-arounder. So I had been using this most of the year for others and for myself, and then I had not touched any traditional Rider-Waite, and then I finally, like at the end of the year, pulled this out and just have been using it nonstop. So I was like kind of right back into looking at the traditional imagery and really, really wanting that. The Wheel of Fortune. That's one of my cards for the year. Chariot. Yeah, it was such a beautiful. I was just like, oh, it feels so good. I was like kind of running away from it a little bit this year, just not really using it a whole lot. And then I was like, okay, no, I'm back into it. So those three, I'm like looking on. Oh, I almost forgot this one. This has like been my most heavily used deck. The Lumina. This is so worth it. I told you guys I got this for another. She's a Reiki healer, and she's a beautiful healer, and she hadn't. When she came into town a month ago, out of all my decks, she was like, oh, this one. She's very, very, she is a spiritual healer and a beautiful, beautiful soul. So I was like so excited to get this deck for her as a Christmas present. But yeah, out of all my decks, this is the one she loved, and it has always been so good, and the cardstock is so yummy. And I know it's expensive, but it is, if it's on your wish list, I got this at the beginning of the year and have not stopped using it. Not stopped using it. It's just, I will just call this the home deck. So it doesn't matter like what kind of mood I'm in, I can read with this for anybody. And I use this a lot for other people. It's probably the most used deck. And then for myself too. And the guidebook is so beautiful. So beautiful. And I've talked about the Oracle deck as well. So the Connected and Free, this has just been, I've gotten like my money's worth out of this deck. So gorgeous. And let's see. Oh, you know what? I did not bring my Star Child. Okay, all right. Well, we'll set that aside. What are some of my other ones? I also have used maybe a little bit lesser degree. Oh, there it is. Okay, the Wild Unknown. And this is one that I have added color to it myself. Thank you very much. But this one I have used maybe like not like every single time, but I have used for others and really, really loved it. I love this for myself. I love how it's truthful, but it's not mean. it's never mean about it. It's very, actually, to tell you what, the star card followed me a lot this year in this deck. You know how every deck will have, like, a card that always, it seems with me, like, every deck has, like, one card. It's like, this is your message, always. I don't know why you keep asking questions. But, yeah, so good. I love the animals. And I really have I don't have it out at the moment, but the medicine cards that Cosmic Creeper on Instagram and on YouTube, she got me onto that deck. And that book has been so, so, so good. So good. All right. I think, and then the next tarot deck for all-arounders is, I'm not going to pull it out, but the Druid Craft is this is so good. I got this from my boyfriend. I got that for him for his birthday, and also it was funny, I think this is like a very popular for the guys. This is like a really good deck. It seems like all the men that have seen it, they're like, yeah, I love this, and like men in general seem to be really into this deck. So it is gorgeous, and I did a lot of in-depth readings with it for like back in, I don't know, September, August. I was just like using it nonstop for people, and it's so juicy. There's so much to come off of it. It is earthy. The cards are big, but there you go. There's just so much that comes out of one card, and I have very much enjoyed it, and the book is really juicy too. And yeah, I traded for a copy. But that is one thing I did do. At the end of the summer, we're doing an end of year wrap up, I did trade a lot of decks that I had not been using, and got in a lot of new decks right there before Halloween. So I was just like, anything I had just wasn't connecting with, I just like moved it on, and there's quite a few in there. But then I'm going to show you these other ones that I did keep. That I don't use them on the daily. Speaking of, I can't find. One other deck, sorry. Well, another good all-rounder is a Salsarabito, and I saw Anthony called it Sassy Burrito, and I was like, oh, I'm cracking up. But that's another one I really like. That one was a really good for me, like just like a daily carry around. I did use it for others, but I really ended up using it mostly for myself. But it was like it's just like one I would like carry in my bag and take out with me. It's just like really good for quick readings, and I really did enjoy it. I mean, I've been enjoying it, so. It's beautiful. I love the gilding, and I'm sorry I don't have it out to show you guys, but yeah, there's so many decks, right? But yeah, so as another honorable mention, it is very beautiful, and it was really easy to read with, and it's just gorgeous. And there's a quick little guidebook, so it's really good if you're new. It's really beautiful, like her meanings from the cards. So with that said, I'm going to talk about these next 4 decks. I think, yeah, okay. These are ones throughout the year I would use for kind of like special occasions. I did not use them like in regards to like how much I did actually use them. It wasn't, there wasn't a ton, but I would not like these decks are staying. They're just more like in regards to the Chamonix or Chamonix deck. It's like here. I know people ask me about this one, so this is like that's how you spell it. It's a self-published deck. Here, let me pull this out. I got this because Avalon really loved it, and look how little, the guidebook is so little, but it does have color depictions of the cards. This deck has blown me away when I've used it. I've used it like for a few moon readings, and just in general, and I love the size of it. Hold on. I've messed this up. Sorry. I was like, I'm going to. You can see the backing, like it's so magical, mystical layers. It's very, dreamy landscape. But I only ended up using this once for somebody else, and it was a supportive deck for a subconscious message that I did it for. But it has been, for me, it has just been so good. Even if you I didn't feel comfortable using it just because of how it's so non-traditional, and I didn't know how to, I just want to make sure I had a better grasp on it before I started reading with others, even though every time I used it for myself, I always get these beautiful messages, so it was more like just letting me know it's okay to just intuitively read the cards, and even she talks about that in the guidebook, so it's not like, reminding me, don't wait for perfection, and all the court cards are faces, up-close faces, and it is just so beautiful. I mean, it can handle the mundane, but I really did pull it out for like deep, to get to the deep issues of things. Sorry, some of them are upside down. Okay, but there's a chariot, and you can see like it's non-traditional, even like with the animals used. There's a lot of power with this deck. But yeah, I got this because of Avalon recommending it, and there's a High Priestess. But yeah, because of Seven of Swords. But the guidebook is just so quick and to the point, and it's profound. And the star. So yeah, again, I did not use this a lot, but when I did use it, I'm just like, wow, this deck is just it's so good. So yeah, even though it doesn't get as much love as I should probably give it, I absolutely adore it. And then the same with the, actually, and I don't have it out either, but the Tarot of the She is another one. I don't pull that out often, but when I do, it's like, okay, I really need this deck. I know this deck is like, it can handle this question, or I need the situation going on or circumstances going on in my life right now. I really need something like, to pack a punch. And then, yeah, so Tarot of the She, definitely one of them. And then another one is the Black Lily Tarot. I used this just for myself this year. And every time I did use it, not a bunch, but when I did use it, it was always so good. And I had a really powerful reading this year with it, with this deck, the Color Gypsy deck of color with this. And it was just like maybe like, I don't know, 4 or 5 cards and like 1 card from each. And it was just, it was so good. So good. So it's not like, I mean, obviously all these decks can be used for others, but it's just that I just hadn't moved into yet, but I really did love this. Actually, see, Ethany loves this deck, and I just trying to think, I was like, yeah, I love it. It's also small like the Chamonix. Here, I'll show you guys. I know I've shown this before, but you see how nice and little it is, and beautiful backing, and it's definitely all about like feminine power. I think there's a few actual male representation on the cards, but this is definitely the for the feminine psyche principle. Put it back in the box. And then another one for, I guess, feminine power as well is the Chicoli Tarot, and I don't think I actually ended up using this for anybody this year, but I love it for myself. This is also gets, it's sort of like with the Chamonix, it's gonna like reveal parts of yourself that you need to be very open. You need to be in the right frame of mind to get the messages in a way for me. But definitely, I feel like it shows like the vulnerability and the strength and empowerment of the feminine principle. I love that star card. I mean, look at that star card. I feel like, you know how like the strength card is all about, you know, being able to be, you can have strength and have ferocity, but in a graceful, you know, like how a queen would do it. And I mean, obviously what strength is, like the Leo, the queen, but it's definitely a sense that you don't have to be overly aggressive to be seen as strong. You can still be, you know, like you can have a presence about you. You can walk into a room and just have that presence without having to like bully or force yourself into, or like the idea of like forcing your opinion on others or attacking or judgment. Like that's not necessary in order to be strong. If anything, that's just like revealing parts of yourself that you need to heal. So it's okay, like. Just, you know, and to get like kind of like political with it, it's like, you know, I talked about this before. Like I had someone ask me, it's like, as a woman entrepreneur, have you felt like you have been, you know, what's the right word, like discriminated against, you know, as a woman in business? And like to that answer, I was like, if anyone has done that to me, it's like I never like took that on as a story. I was like, I mean, like, yes, I've had things in business happen that whether or not it's because I'm a woman, like honestly, I've had other things happen, not just because I was a woman, but just like for other reasons, like because of just other issues. So it wasn't even necessarily, it was like people can discriminate against you for all sorts of reasons. It doesn't have to be because of your sex. So it's like, I'm not going to like take on that story, but I feel like with this deck, it sort of helps us move past that victim mentality. I feel like that's a victim mentality. Like everyone might mention, it's like, oh, I can't do this because I'm a woman, or in order for me to be a woman, I have to be a certain way to show how strong I am. And I understand that mentality, like, but I just, especially with this deck, it's all about this just the empowerment of woman to me. But we can be strong, and it's like, you look at this card, like our demons do not have to make us feel small. There's strength in, like the divine masculine and the sacred feminine, or divine masculine, divine feminine. They're equals. They're equals, and they're two sides of the coin. So it's not like one being out of balance or one having to usher in, this. It's not like for the feminine to be empowered. It does not mean we have to take on the male principle. Can I say? It's just owning both sides of ourselves. And I'm going deep with this, but I feel like this deck really helps bring that stuff up to the surface. You can say, like, you can be strong and graceful. I love that. I love that mentality, like being a gentle. There can be a gentleness without giving in. You don't, just because you can be calm and harmonious does not mean you have to be a doormat. And I'm all about like that balance of, right, being a woman. Like with my the business I've been doing for 11 years it's male dominated, and it is very like, it's not a lot of feminine receptivity and flow with it. So you do have to be strong, but it's like, okay, I can still be me and be successful in business. I don't have to just be like, oh, like I don't need to be one of the guys, or I don't need to destroy my feminine principle in order to be successful in a male dominated industry. So, I don't know. I'm just sharing thoughts right now. So, you can tell me how you see it. But, yeah, I feel like it just helps us balance that out, Like, the goal here is not to be the Queen of Hearts. We're not trying to, like, cut everyone's heads off, to be like, I am a strong woman. Like, no, that's not how you, that's not the way to go about it. You don't replace, like, one way of being with the exact same way of being, just the opposite. There's like balance. There's balance. But either way, that's what I get with this deck. It is very powerful. It really helps me just to empower myself, see where I am putting myself in a victim status, or are just dealing with those shadows of being a woman and feeling vulnerable, and like helping me get my strength back, and just feeling comfortable with myself as a woman, and not having to apologize or think I need to be a different way than I would naturally want to be. Yeah, it's like you don't have to be a doormat. You're not weak because you're a woman. It's developing the actual strengths that we are born with as women, without destroying the sacred masculine in the same process. So anyway, okay. Those are like just some thoughts I'd share with you guys. So the next deck also, this is a love-hate relationship with the Gypsy Palace Tarot. I say also recommend getting the book with this, but this card, the Hangman card, has followed me in this deck. It almost comes out every single time I've read with it. I'm like, I won't get rid of it. I have forced myself to connect with it. Speaking of like being gentle, I have forced myself to connect with this deck. Darn it. I love this Fool. Look at this Fool card. This is a beautiful exotic deck, and I won't go through all the cards. Look at that world. She has merged with the landscape. But very, very beautiful. I just used it, have only used it for myself, and pulled out those 4 decks, or even with the Tarot of the She, which the Tarot of She I have used for others, but I do find it's a very, very beautiful personal deck. So those decks have come out, and when they have come out, they have been so powerful, and I've gotten such beautiful, like, much needed messages from them. Excuse me. So, okay, so on to the Oracle decks. I was like, but you guys understand, right? There's in regards to feminine and masculine principles, and being in balance and being in flow, and not destroying our powers of our creative feminine powers in order to be more masculine, or try to fit ourselves in, or just embracing. I can't even describe what I'm trying to say. But being able to embrace our feminine principle and owning that, but not in a way that destroys anybody else or judges anybody else, and just allowing others to be as they are. And then it's like, it's up to us to not be, like if you're saying you're a victim of something, that's on you to have to, the only way you can get out of it is through your own powers, through your own abilities. No one else is going to come around and say, you're not a victim anymore. That's disempowering you even more, expecting somebody else to come save you in whatever way. So you can still be strong and centered in yourself without expecting anybody else to change your circumstances. It's up to you, and that's the beauty. Like, that's the good news and that's the bad news. Like, the bad news is up to you, the good news is up to you. So if you feel like you're in a world that doesn't support you, it's like, it's up to you to create that. It's up to you to create those circumstances and be at peace with yourself in regards to it. Yeah. All right, so with that said, the next deck, can I just say, so Elise from Wild Moon Woman talked about, the color Gypsy, and I didn't even think about this, but the color Gypsy oracle with the sacred creators, which has been a godsend. Chris-Anne is a goddess in herself. These two with the Lumina, I have always done that, and I've used this deck with everything. It always tags along. Especially for a big spread, this deck is amazing. So a card for each thing, just helps flesh out messages so well. And then this with this and the Lumina, and then Elise said with Star Child. So those 4 decks together, it's like the ultimate mystical unicorns, rainbows. It's like the end all be all of it's not even the trifecta, right? It's like the 4 decks. I thought I had the trifecta, but no, that's okay, Lumina, Star Child, and these two. I'm like, oh my gosh, that is the perfect dreamy landscape for any reading. So I'll just say, and also, how Lee said that this is great for romance readings. It's been useful. Obviously I use this for when I'm dealing with my own blocks in my own head about just doing anything, and especially in business and creating new things and putting ourselves out there, or putting myself out there. This deck has been so good. Look how beat up my book is. So beat up. I was taking it with me. So good. So good. So, and then also, the story cards. I saw Ethany got a copy of this deck as well, and it is so good. I'm still loving it. I love Kathy Nichols' story cards oracle. I got this around Thanksgiving, but it has been so good. It's so beautiful. And then we'll just point out the last 2 here. Iris and the Connected and Free. Different purposes, but obviously the Connected and Free has been very beautiful for personal readings for myself as well as others. And it's really good even as a standalone for things, and or standalone readings, and great cards. Obviously goes well with the Lumina, and I actually really do like this one and these 2 together. I've done really big I'll do especially for business spreads, where areas to focus on. It's really good. These in conjunction with the tarot deck are really good. I found it to be very, very, very good, especially in regards to chakra work and what you need to work on. Obviously, because this one has chakra cards, and then I use the deck of color for I base that off chakras as well. So I found a lot of people I've used that for have really loved it, enjoyed it, and found a lot of use in that. So, and then the Iris deck has been my companion, along with, I don't have it out, but the Isis and Isis Oracle, and then the Lightworkers Oracle. These both have really blew me away. This one so much, especially for December, I'm really starting to enjoy this. So this one's just my personal hug in a box. It was everything's gonna be okay, but it is so yummy. I love the cardstock. It's nice and smooth, and it's just a joy to shuffle with. And you can see the back of the box. I'm not gonna pull it out, but the cards and the messages are just gorgeous. And I think Mary Elizabeth Evans is this beautiful role model of just, speaking of stepping into her feminine power. It's she just owns her feminine power without there's no need to attack anybody or accuse anybody of anything. It's just owning ourselves and owning what we do, and not giving any craps about any haters. I love that. She just is doing her own, just being herself, creating what comes out of her soul, and it's No apologies. I love it. And then the last one, this was the first one of the first videos I did on deck review, and it's Mystical Wisdom with Josephine Wall's art and Gay Guthrie. Yes. And the book is so precious with this, and I pulled it out again in December, and I was like, it's so good. It was like a coming home oracle deck, and I found, since it had been so long since I had used it, it has really deepened for me now. So I'm like really like, okay, this deck is gorgeous, and the messages in the book are really good. I found it's sort of like with the Iris. It just has always been really, really good in times of crisis or like really big decisions. And it's always got the right message for me. I love pulling 3 cards from this and getting a really good, well-rounded message from it. But I love Josephine Wall's art. Let's take a look at this card. So, yeah, I did not think I would, I thought I was going to like just let my toddler have it and never really use it again. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this deck is so perfect. It's like, yeah, it's back in the roster. Mystical Wisdom, one of my first oracle decks. I love it. Okay, so, and where do we start? So that's all the tarot and oracle decks. There's obviously so many good ones to read for others with, and thank you guys so I wanted to thank everyone who has purchased a reading or has done a session with me. It has been so much fun to talk to other entrepreneurs or people that have like big dreams, or just being there, holding space for you guys, and it's been such a joy to connect, and yeah, it's just been a great year. There's so much stuff that has happened, and I ended up moving back in November, so I'm in this new beautiful space, and everything's just, there's so many things that have just come together so well. It's like, when stuff just like, it comes together and you're like, I'm so glad I didn't have to do anything to, actively do anything to make it all just come together. It's like, oh, it came together. I'm just so glad it all came together. I'm glad I didn't realize what was going on, because I would have like freaked out or something in a way, just been like, oh my gosh, this is so much happening, but I'm kind of like, just flow with it. And I'm glad everything has just flown together. To come together in a beautiful, flowy way. So anyway, there we go. Is there anything else to talk about? I have quite a few things to talk about, but yeah, end of the year. I hope everyone has a great new year. I hope anyone who is thinking about maybe starting YouTube videos or wanting to like start writing or doing a blog or just do Instagram posts or something, Facebook posts, definitely try out Ethany's 31 Days of Tarot. It's a great little challenge just to get yourself out there and like, be more visible. And so anyone who's struggling with that, like I struggled with that, and just like, you just gotta start doing it. Just put the fear in the back seat for a second and just allow yourself to do it and move through it. And I was gonna say, I was trying to get this video done for you guys. So there's crystals and things of that nature. I'll have to do another video. All right, so I hope everyone enjoys their first week of January so far, and yes, and everyone survived and had beautiful holidays with the family. It has been exciting being around family, and it's beautiful and nerve-wracking and stressful and amazing and full of love and all the feels. So I hope everyone has a great day.